Dreamer,
That was popping on.
isn't it crazy, this technology?
Yeah.
Like, I just found this out like recently, and this is so cool. Can you imagine we had this like 25 years ago or 20 years ago? It
Hey,
would have been so awesome.
if we
Wait,
knew
let
we
me turn off the volume. Okay.
I said if we knew we'd be way more advanced, you feel me?
Yes, yes. Okay, before I start the interview, we gotta talk about this. What have you been doing on this crazy time like this in Los Angeles? Is everything okay in LA, or because some of the places they're out of like um, paper towels, toilet papers, completely wiped out. How about in LA? How are things in Los Angeles?
Hey, it's not good, man. It's not good down here. You know, all of the grocery stores are empty. There's lines to get in everywhere. The only people that are really safe as far as jobs go are people like me that are in the food service industry and people that actually, work in medicine and hospitals and stuff like that, man. But it's empty, man. It's people out there fighting, acting a fool. It's crazy, bro.
You know what? People who works at the food service industry, grocery store janitors, and like other public service, they are the first responder right now.
Word.
Yeah, due to them, we're getting foods.
Yeah.
We get even public transportation for people who have to work and stuff. Also, nurse and everything. Everyone is who works in that field are the public. I mean, what's that word? They're like the number one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, man, because a lot of my regulars that come into my restaurant are like out of work, and
Yeah, and it's to go only, right?
yeah. Everything is to go. We have to shut down in-house dining. When I go to 7-Eleven to get my coffee in the morning, they actually give it to you now. I'm no longer allowed to get it myself. So I guess it's for safety reasons, but at the same time, it's stuff that you only will see in other foreign countries. You know what I'm saying? You don't expect for it to hit home the way it hit home now. So it's crazy, man. Crazy.
Okay, Dreamer. Also, you have a family.
Yeah.
How do you explain to your kids, like, what do you do if they have like anxiety issue or anything like that? How do you handle that situation with your family and your kids?
Well, a lot of my kids are getting education firsthand. Teachers and things like that. So it's we all watch the same programs. We all watch the news. We all read the papers. Just kind of stay together. And just stay out of harm's way. I mean that's the best way I can do. I mean I can only teach them what I know and the safest procedures that I've been using and the stuff. How I wash my hands often. I teach them to do the same thing at home.
That's cool. Hey, people are waving at you, Dreamer.
Yeah.
Hey,
what up,
okay. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if you know about this before we start this interview. Do you know what this is?
Yeah, I know exactly what that is. That's a.
Do you know you're in this book?
Yeah, that's what I heard, man. That's what I heard.
You haven't seen this? Yeah, you don't have a copy of this book?
No, I don't. Have.
You're in this. Malik mentions you a couple times in here, a few times, and your photos. A couple of your photos are in it. We're both in it. Everyone's in it.
Hey, you know what, man?
Larry, Zaki, everyone.
Yeah, that's like the new "Seize the Time." You remember "Seize the Time" by
Bobby Seale.
Bobby Seale, yeah.
Yes.
That's like the new "Seize the Time," man. I got to cop that for sure.
This is the first Panther book who even mentioned punk rockers.
Yeah.
Ever.
Vanguard.
History.
Yeah, word.
Okay.
The days.
Dreamer, I have to say, I have a lot of respect for you. Because you come from a really, really tough neighbor. And South Central LA was very different. I'm not going to go into details to today from like 25 years ago and stuff. How did you get involved with the new Panther Vanguard movement?
Well, it's kind of a funny story, man. Like I've always rode the 40 bus, like the number 40 bus. Back in that time, it still goes down Martin Luther King Boulevard. And I had just seen the movie Black Panther, and I was pretty amped about that. And the only thing that they teach you in elementary school back then about the Black Panthers was very short, and it's during Black History Month. So when I seen the movie, I was like, wow, you know, that'll be something nice, you know, to actually have in the community. So I was rolling on the bus one day, and I just so happened to look to the right on Martin Luther King and Halldale, and I saw the International Panther headquarters. So, you know, me being like, I'm stoked at this point. I'm like, what? You know, I'm thinking, okay, then maybe they shot a part of the movie, you know, they can't feel. So,
Uh-huh.
but, and the first person I seen sitting outside was Comrade Kadri.
Cadre, yes, the big Cadre. I remember
I,
Cadre. I've been seeing him for 25 years or more.
yeah.
I haven't. That's the last time I seen him.
Well, yeah, he's in Atlanta right now, but
Really?
he's the first comrade that I seen sitting outside. You know, he was the chief of staff, and he actually invited me to a meeting. You know, and I went to a meeting, and I just never left. You know, I just never left, man. It was exactly what I was looking for, especially in that time in my life. You know, I just turned 17. You know, I was at risk still of joining gangs. You know, and trying to hang out with the homies. You know, doing the wrong thing. Oh, y'all remember that? Yeah, hey man, you still got
Hey, Dreamer, while you're talking, I'm gonna like show images, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Dreamer, look, someone from Malaysia says hello.
Hey everybody, I see y'all, man.
Malaysia is way different on the other side of the
I
country.
appreciate all y'all tuning in. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to keep it 100 with y'all. But yeah, man, that Black Panther newspaper right there that Jay is holding up, man. We used to sell those. We used to sell those for $1. You feel me? Like we used to.
1996 or 97.
Yeah, cause I joined in '95, so '96, man, we was out there on all the corners, Crenshaw and King, Crenshaw and Western, selling Black Panther newspapers for $1. You know what I'm saying? Right there in the neighborhood. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's me.
1996.
Yeah, I was 17 right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a good organization, man. You know, it was very necessary. You know, and it was a life-saving maneuver that I did in order to, you know, keep me from being a victim of all the stuff that was going on in the neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And that was our bus in the prisons program. That bus right there, man. Like we were supposed to go take people to go and see their relatives that was locked up, you know, in the prison program. And right before Tupac had passed away, he was actually going to fund that program. You know.
Do you remember we took this bus all together to go to the crack the CIA rally?
I sure do.
It was like packed. We all, and then like I was the only punk rocker with the big spiked hair, and I was with all the Panthers, and we're getting out of the bus, and people were tripping out. There's all the Panthers, and there's a kid with the huge spiked hair and stuff. But on Dreamer, we got so many things to talk about.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to know. Back in those days in the 90s, there were so many groups like New Panther Vanguard movement, and 5 minutes away there was like community support of the Gang Truth Office. Well, 5-minute drive. Then there was Exodus, Boss, all these role models. They were working with like Crips and Bloods.
Each one teach one.
Yeah, and there were so many role models in the 90s, getting all the gangs together to cease fire, stop fighting.
Yeah.
But what's going on now? Does that happen now, or did all that die out, or all the OGs gone? What happened?
Well, I know that Bobby Broham passed away from the Exodus movement. I actually ran into Brother Khalid Shaw. He came into my restaurant to get something to eat. He was part of the I want to say Unity One. They used to have an office right on Crenshaw and Imperial, in this tall building. I think it's like a bank at the bottom. But I ran into him. I know. A lot of those brothers, you know, passed away, you know, and it's not.
Wow.
It's not to say that it's nothing there now, because you got brothers like Skip Townsend, man. Skip Townsend is really doing his thing, you know what I'm saying, as far as bringing together, you know, people in the community. You know, I want to give a shout out to Skip, man. You know, we see you, man, doing your thing, man, and we appreciate everything that you're doing, brother. Yeah, you know, it's a lot of gang truces. Well, not necessarily truces, but it's a lot of ceasefires that are going on in the Black community now, you know, and it's a good thing, you know, especially like on the east side, you got the F-13s that have a ceasefire with the East Coast Crips. You know, Coast Crips have got a ceasefires with the Kitchen Crips, and Juan's got in on that, you know, and all the OGs, you know, from those neighborhoods. And I guess, you know, it's a good thing, man. You know, we just got to try to continue to lead by example, you know, because we don't have the Black leaders that that I had growing up, you know, that were really instrumental in you know, being at the same place at the same
Right.
time, you know, to where you have so many choices of different organizations that you can join, you know, be a part of or support. You know, now you have individuals, you know, like I said, you know, Skip Townsend is like one of the main ones that's instrumental in actually bringing together the gangs now.
Also, I remember in the 90s, South Central was so different.
Yeah,
Like a couple blocks away, it's just Crips. Then a couple blocks away, it's Bloods. Then
yeah,
just walking a couple blocks away. But then I met some of the these OGs. They were working so hard on organizing community. It was like really inspiration.
yeah,
One of the things that tripped me out when I went to the new Panther Vanguard movement, because you know Wednesday we used to have group study, and I used to drive almost every Wednesday to
mm,
attend,
mm,
seeing like gang members doing political education class, and that then I remember other times it would be like OGs, like you know, just who have tattoos on their neck,
yeah,
and just getting political education class. It
right.
was such a different time. It was like so amazing seeing all these gangsters being like politically educated and stuff. And I think Sharif did an amazing job too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Sharif, brothers like Kadri, brothers like Charlie, rest in peace. Brothers like One Punch. You know, all of these guys were from different neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? They were all from like different backgrounds, who all were brought together underneath one banner. You know, so by them being able to show, like I said, you got to lead by example. So by them leading by example, was able to show some of the younger comrades like myself, you know, that it could be done, you know, and it's very and it's very important that that the people that really want to be a part of it actually participate and don't be afraid to let these youngsters know, man, that it's about that time. You know, I mean, you're never gonna get everybody to do it, you know, but it's strength in numbers, you know, and the more of us that actually show that it can be done, you know, I feel like the more people that will get to participate.
Then do you remember you guys used to come down to Orange County and
Yeah,
do shows with all the punk rockers?
there I
I
go.
mean,
Right.
not just well, we did that a few times
Yeah,
back and forth.
yeah,
These
man.
are all punk rockers and the new Panther Vanguard movement. We
Yeah,
hang banners. We have punk rock bands playing,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you guys would perform. We did that in LA. We did that in Orange County, like
Exactly.
countless of times at
Exactly.
different spots. But that doesn't go on anymore that much anymore. But I thought like the punks and like the Black Power, like hip hop revolution will continue, but the younger generation they did not carry that on.
Yeah, well, you know, it has a lot to do with you know, the day that the Panther headquarters actually shut its offices down. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
I was it discouraged a lot of us. You know, a lot of the children to come to the classes to learn how to be computer literate. You know, before social
Uh-huh.
media and all that. A lot of those kids, well, actually, one of them in particular, I'm still in touch with now. He's in prison and he writes
Right.
letters every day, and he wants to resurrect the new Panther Vanguard movement or some sort
Uh-huh.
of facet, you know what I'm saying, to where we can do what we did before because it's necessary. You know, there's really nothing out there that's active, you know, besides what Taco is doing, but you don't really see those cats on the street as
Mm-hmm.
much, you know what I'm saying, as much as I used to see them. So I can't really say what they're doing, you know, and shout out to the Black Riders and everything, you know, and I respect all those guys, man. But we need something for everybody, man. And we gotta drop the labels, man. We gotta stop, you know, just saying that it's a black thing or you know it's a Mexican thing. It's like, man, you know, we're living in a different time and in a different generation where we have to get our human rights and hold on to them because that's what we're at risk of losing. This is a different struggle that we're dealing with than it was in the 90s. You know, in the 90s, you know, we had to worry about police brutality and stuff. Not to say that we don't have to worry about that now, but
Mm-hmm.
it's gotten so much more advanced and we're so much more lost and we got to work so much more harder because the attention span of the youth is so much shorter, you know. So it's like the approach has to be just right in order for us to get their attention. And I just, man, like we really need to make it happen. We need to see what we can do, man, to bring that back.
I'm gonna bring you another flashback, Dreamer.
All right.
I got this shirt recently, but do you remember in the 90s you came up to Oakland and hanged out with all the original Panthers?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the Oakland Panthers, established in 1966.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just telling somebody that. I was at the 30-year anniversary of the Black Panthers and I met Bobby
That
Seale.
was in the 90s.
Yeah, 1996, October 12th. I was there. Yeah.
I wasn't there, but I saw all the photos. That's why.
Yeah, man. Yep, I was there.
And
Good times.
actually, I went to a vegan event, and somebody was selling this shirt
Mhm.
of the move in Ramona, Africa. You remember when Ramona, Africa spoke at the new Panther Vanguard movement
Yes, I do.
at the office
Yes.
in the move and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to show you this. Here's another flashback. This was a collective magazine we did one time with the Panthers
Uh-huh.
and community support of the gang Truth, and you're on the cover.
Wow.
Do you remember this?
I remember seeing that, man. Hey, bro, you got so much stuff, man. You got to send me some of that stuff, man. You got a lot of stuff, man.
This is the only copy I have.
That's crazy.
I lost a lot of flyers too. I used to have so many flyers. Oh, here's an event, another event. It was during the International Women's Day at the Panther headquarters. We had like vegan straight edge speakers. We have feminist, anarchist speakers. Yeah. And we had all kinds of different speakers with like whole different thing going on in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. Word up.
So tell me about when you used to perform. Oh, actually, recently you performed at the Pasadena Anarcho Gathering. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was like, was it 2 months ago?
A little over 2 months ago. A little over 2 months ago. Hey, that was really nice, man. You know, that definitely brought back the stuff we used to do at the Foods Cafe. You know, and me performing back then, that definitely brought back some good memories, man.
And also Luna Soul Cafe. Remember you performed at Luna Soul too?
Yeah, man, that was great, man. Anything like that you have going on, let me know, man. I'll definitely show up for that. And
then we did the Solidarity Fest few time with all the punk bands and the Black Power hip hop bands and stuff.
Yep, Zaki, man, Zaki. I'm trying to.
I gotta interview Zaki as well. I gotta shout out to Comrades Zaki. Yeah. I still talk to Zaki. I talked to him last week on the phone.
Me too.
And everything.
Me too.
How about this? Do you remember this? Solidarity Fest. We had few, so you're not gonna remember everything. This is not the recent one. This is the old one from the 90s, not the one from five years ago.
I remember seeing that.
Oh, Dreamer. So tell me about your music now. You're doing music. Are you continue doing hip hop and stuff online?
Yeah. So I'm doing music now. I have most of my music now is has changed. I mean, I have certain songs that are geared towards my past and the influences from the revolutionary times. But mostly, I consider myself to be more of an entertainer than just a revolutionary artist. So, I make music for everybody now, that everybody can listen to and be comfortable with. I'm doing a lot of shows. I'm working with a brother named Rick Hard doing shows. I'm actually an artist. I'm managed by Platinum Brown Sugar Entertainment Management. And I'm working with a cat out of Philadelphia that goes by the name of OC the General. My homie Cali Al, we go by a group named COD. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of stuff coming out in the next couple months. I just released my album. It's titled Dreamer Black, Ain't Your Homie, I Ain't Your Homie. You can find that on Spotify, iTunes, all of the massive social media links and stuff like that, man. So yeah, I'm just working on being an entertainer, man. And, hopefully I'll be able to retire from this 9 to 5 soon.
Dreamer, somebody asked you a question. It says, "Who is Zaki you guys are talking about?"
Okay, well Zaki. He was a brother that was with me in the new Panther Vanguard movement, and actually one of the brothers that I used to rap with. We had a group called the Nat Turner Revolt.
Nat Turner Revolt.
Yeah. We were in a group called the Nat Turner Revolt, and Zaki was a lieutenant in the new Panther Vanguard movement. You can look him up. He goes by, what does he go by on Facebook? Do you
I forgot. I forgot. Everyone has like fake names and stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Everybody got code.
I'll bring Zaki next week.
Yeah.
Do you remember every time when we see Zaki? Oops.
Go ahead.
Do you remember every time we see Zaki, when you guys used to enter the Panther, you stomp on the ground, salute?
Yeah.
Yes. At first, when I used to see Zaki at the rallies in the 90s, he would stomp on the ground, salute. Yeah. I didn't know what to do. I go, whoa, what the hell?
You still do that to this day.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, still do that to this day. Me and my comrade Cali Al, every time that we meet, me and my comrades that I recruited after the Panther headquarters shut their doors, I recruited some more comrades and started my own like clique, you know what I'm saying, which is like an offspin of that, you know,
Right.
just to try to save lives. So all of those comrades, we actually still do the salute to this day when we see each other. And
Wow. Yes.
that's thanks to Taco and thanks to Zaki, because we all created that together.
New Panther Vanguard movement.
Yeah.
So people won't be confused with the Black Riders.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is when Taco came out of YA and he joined the New Panther Vanguard movement. This is before he started the Black Riders Liberation Army.
And he left. He left.
Exactly. He
Yes.
left and started his own organization, but he was first a member of the New Panther Vanguard movement with me, Sharif, Comrade, Kadri, a bunch of Azaki. We all flew together.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a really interesting time back then too.
We were young.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys are so militant at every rallies. You guys were just like security and everything.
Yeah.
Then remember, I was telling Sharif, hey, I've been having some problem at the punk show. Can you guys come do security? And you guys do securities and everything.
Yeah, word. Yeah, man, it definitely had to be done. You know, it was necessary. You know, it's still necessary today. But like I said, man, we're dealing with a different struggle, so we got to be careful how we approach it.
Yes, time has changed.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed South Central LA is so different. I noticed a lot of the Black community moved out of South Central LA and stuff too.
Yeah. Well,
like,
yeah.
It changed. It changed so much.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I went to downtown LA, and then downtown LA has completely changed. It's like, you know, you got people of all different ethnic groups there now, you know, schools and people walking their dogs, and, you know, and it's a bars on every corner. You know, when I was a kid coming up, you had arcades, you know, and the Latinos had all of the shops open. You know, you had the Armenian Jewelry District, which I'm sure is still there, but now it's like all you see are bars, pubs, and restaurants, and it's changed so much. And then it's a lot of other racial groups moving into the Black communities, especially since we got all these new things being built, like the Ram Stadium in Inglewood, you know, and then, you know, people being pushed out, you know, because they can't afford it. It's crazy, bro.
Do you remember in year 2000, you came to our co-op house in Inglewood, the Black Star Co-op house? Do you remember that or no?
I don't remember it vaguely. I vaguely remember, man.
Zaki performed there one time at a party.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That co-op house is gone. This is long time ago.
Wow.
Here's the thing too. I don't know if you knew about this. I know things change a lot. Even with political organization has changed too. Nowadays, like I was talking to Bloodhound about this on the phone last week. Nowadays, like if they bring in somebody from the community or somebody from, like, what I'm trying to say is, let's say there's a kid who's interested in getting involved and comes from like a tough neighbor. If somebody accidentally said a word, you know, that's not cool and stuff, instead of educating them, people get pissed off and it drives them out.
Yeah.
They don't educate like how, you know, because the example is, you know, like Sharif, he was street smart and he had all that thing. There's no role models like that. It's just like, bam, political organization. If you don't agree with us, we piss you off, we push you out.
Yeah.
I wish there was more role models like Sharif or like Michael from Community Support of the Gang Truth, who has that, what do you call it? Who are street smart, understand stuff. So if a brother comes in an organization, they say something wrong or something that say sexist, instead of getting mad and pushing them out, like educating them and stuff.
Yeah.
Just talking to them. But I don't see that with any groups these days.
No, like, you know, everything is straightforward. People don't really have the patience, you know, to really put up with it. You know, like we have to all put ourselves in their shoes. We didn't always know, you know, what was cool to say and what was not cool to say, you know. So we have to put ourselves in our shoes. How would we feel, or how did we feel when we was checked? It's crazy because one time, you know, Brother Charlie, we had a party at the Black Panther headquarters, at the New Panther headquarters right there on Martin Luther King. And Brother Charlie was actually selling sodas. And I didn't know that the sodas were for sale. I just assumed that they were free, you know, and I got one, you know, and he was like, yo, you know, where's my money? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what's up? You know, so you're supposed to pay for these. But that just is like, he understood just by my reaction, like, I didn't know. He didn't get upset and like, oh, bro, you know what I'm saying, you got to give me 20 push-ups or whatever. I mean, we got discipline like that, but a lot of these organizations and these individuals, just need to learn how to deal with the youth, man, especially this new generation. Because now my kids are that age. I got a son that's 22 years old. I got a 20-year-old son. So just by dealing with them, I have to remember that I was their age once, and just be, as patient with them as I can.
Hey, did you answer that question? What year did the Panther headquarters shut down and why?
Oh,
did you answer that question?
No. Okay. So moral bondage. Yeah. So the Panther headquarters shut down between 1997 and 1998. And I believe that it had a lot to do with not just internal conflict, but just the weight being all on one person's shoulders to keep the building open by paying rent. So that individual, I'm not going to say his name, but that individual had a lot of pressure on him, and we just wasn't, able to contribute. So I think it came to a point to where, in order for him to save his own family and be able to, live, we had to shut down the doors. But yeah, that was the demise of that right there. The Comrades still wanted to be down, man. Like I was one of them. Like I still hung around the area for a long time, because I just knew that eventually they were going to open back up, but it never did.
I wish that we took more pictures back then. I mean, who in the hell have like punk rock shows a few times at a Black Panther headquarters and stuff? Yeah. It was a good size too, and then there was like, even you guys let us do animal rights benefit, regular benefits, and we would mix the bands. Even like you guys did a open house and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then your study group was awesome. Every Wednesday there was a study group, political education class, and my friends and I will always come and check it out.
Yeah.
Wait. What's that? What happened to all the comrades after? What happened to everyone?
Okay, so they're still around. The Comrades are still around. Some of them moved out of state. A few defaulted. Went back into the gang. Like some started families like me. I started my own clique, which is the offspring of the Vanguard movement. And eventually I wound up starting a family. Just still having the spirit, but not having the structure and the building that we had was a bit of a setback. But it's still Comrades that are still around. Some that are still alive. Yeah, they're still around. They're not far at all.
Tell us about the underground hip hop scene right now. Is it going strong, or is it not? The underground hip hop scene in South Central LA. How's that?
Yeah. I mean, the underground hip hop scene. I'm definitely a member of that. We do a lot of shows together. I've been doing shows for the past year at the Green Turtle in Whittier. A couple places through Young Baca Productions. I've hit up places on Sunset, Los Globos. So yeah, like the underground community, hip hop community, we're definitely out and about. There's one review show that everybody can go on. They're often on Facebook and YouTube. They're called That Dorky Review Show. You'll see a lot of underground artists. Like I'm one of them. Like we always submit our music to them. And the guy, he goes by Nonsense. It's his show. He's a great guy. If you really wanna get to know who the most prominent underground hip hop artists are that aren't mainstream, you'll definitely go to That Dorky Review Show. So it's just, you have the mainstream that they have a certain criteria or agenda to live up to, so it makes it hard for anybody with a message to get the attention of the masses, because they have such short attention span, and it's not really required to have talent these days. It's like you got these rappers that don't have no talent, but they have all the drive and all the attention of the people. So it's really difficult for some of us, but we won't quit. I know I won't.
How different Black Power hip hop? How different is that with the mainstream and stuff? For people who don't know hip hop too much, like
Well,
Black Power, Revolutionary hip hop, and other things.
well, for a lot of people, it goes right over their heads. A lot of people they don't know how to receive it because that's not what they see every day. They don't go outside their door and they don't see black unity. They don't see, you know, people walking down the street, you know, with their fist up. They don't.
Yes, yes. At the Panther headquarters, you walk down a neighborhood, people, power to the people.
Exactly.
Even just like neighbors will say that.
Right. We don't speak to each other on the street. We don't greet each other like that. You know, either somebody's looking at you with a mean stare or fools don't say nothing to you at all. So, you know, that's a big problem, you know, because it's like we need to start at least acknowledging each other. You know, we ain't gotta hang out and be friends, but it won't hurt nobody to at least acknowledge you and say, yo, you know, what's up, brother? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? You know, it's real simple. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult for us to actually get into the game or get into the rap game talking about black power and revolutionary culture. Now, what a lot of these rappers do is they make it big first, and then, you know, once they've reached a certain point to where they have fans regardless, then they expose the message. But my method is, I feel like, okay, you know, you can't just give them the vegetables right up front. You got to sprinkle a little seasoning on there. So you got to put a little bit of poison with the medicine in order for people to accept it. You know what I'm saying? It's like in the movie Malcolm X, the shower scene when he was putting the lye in his hair and dude came in and gave him something in a cup. And then he asked him, yo, give me some more. He was like, nah, you know, that's the last fix I'm giving you. He said, what'd you give it to me for? He said, because you couldn't hear me without it. You know, that has to be our approach. So that's why I don't just say I'm a revolutionary rapper. Yeah, I have revolutionary songs, but I'm going to get your attention talking about what you want to hear. And then eventually I'm going to creep in the message. You feel what I'm saying? That's a good strategy.
And Dreamer, community organizing, or what kind of community organizing did you used to do? Do you want to share that?
Yeah, I mean, we used to have a lot of free barbecues in different neighborhoods. We would go to like one, you know, Crip neighborhood and have a barbecue over there and, you know, politic with their OGs and all of that stuff and, you know, feed their kids and then talk about going over to the neighborhood next door and bringing some of them, you know, and having a barbecue over there. So that right there has brought a lot of individuals together from, especially on the east side. I remember we had a barbecue with the Fautre Avalons, you know. That was a good thing because they came right back to the Black Panther headquarters in turn, and we had a party too, you know, right there. So, you know, like stuff like that, man. You know, you just got to get out, like you know, we have to be seen. We have to get out into community, and we have to be seen doing something. You know what I'm saying? Doing something positive.
What does that say?
It says, how can today's youth positively get involved in resistant movements like the Panthers did back in the day? Well, I mean, you know, you got to be a leader, man. You got to study. You got to be a leader. You got to study, read, have as much information as possible, and not just hold on to it. Don't just harbor it. You have to act on it, you know, because empty rhetoric with no action is pointless. You know, that's one thing that Sharif used to say a lot. You know, you have to actually live it. You know, you have to live it. Like, you know, in real life, this is who I am. I'm a revolutionary in real life. You know, in front of my fans and on stage, I'm a different person. I'm an entertainer. You know, that's the way I make a living. But you know, I've learned to separate the two. But yeah, I mean, you just have to be active, man. You have to find something that's actually going to be effective in the community, you know, that'll actually help people, you know, and don't just let it be for just one group of people. It has to be for all oppressed people of all different genres, backgrounds, you know, sexual, genders, orientations, all that. Like we got to bring everybody together because we all have one common enemy that most of us can't see because we're so blinded by social media and by the distractions, you know, that everybody is put in front of us. You know, in order to keep our heads out of these books.
Here's an interesting one. How do you feel about trap rap, and what should I start off listening to hip hop like albums? I don't know what a trap rap is. Do you want to answer that question?
I mean, good music is good music. I mean, you know, one thing I want to say, we need to stop blaming the artists for the music that they do. A lot of these artists don't have a choice. Okay, I'm gonna let you know off the top. A lot of these artists, the contracts and the people that they're dealing with, they don't have a choice, so they're just doing what they're told to do. Um, um, J. Cole is one good example. Now he's not a crap rapper, but you know he had to make the music that they wanted him to make, which made him big. And now, if you listen to his music now, he has a message behind it. Same thing with Willie D from the Ghetto Boys. If you wanna get off into some real good, music, listen to Willie D. He has a song called "Coon." And when I heard that, you see the video. I mean, that dude right there, he don't care. Like, you know, he's very straightforward with it, you know, and he's calling out everybody, you know, and it's a risky move, you know, but I mean, it has to be done. Somebody has to do it. Somebody got to stand for something, you know what I'm saying? We can't all be robots, you know, so yeah.
We skipped the question. Another one.
All right. Was that Alec Moose?
This is, yeah, Alan Moss. What's your comment on Trump, Biden, and Sanders' political situation at U.S. now and people of color and Muslim and the Jews in the U.S. now?
Oh man, I don't get involved in all the politics, man. You know, no matter who's in office, they all have to follow the agenda. You know, this is bigger than what we know. You know, it's bigger than red and blue. It's bigger than Democratic and Republican. Like this is something that we don't have no participating in. Like, you know, I'm not gonna go too much into it, but as far as, you know, people of color and Muslims and Jews and all that, man, there's too much separation in the world. We gotta drop the labels and be just human people. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Let's focus on human rights. You know what I'm saying? All of this, oh, I'm this and I'm that, and all that's bullshit, man. Like we gotta knock that off. You know what I'm saying? Period, point blank. And we have to actually step out on faith with other individuals that are like-minded like us in order to show that, yeah, man, you know, we can come together. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to go down the same path with all the rest of these people and their traditions. You know, it's pointless, man. Like, I don't participate in politics at all.
There's my friend says, another question my friend is, what books change your life, Dreamer? Any must reads?
Yes. Seize the Time by Bobby Seale. That like definitely changed my life. You know, that's like one of my favorite books. The Monster Cody book, you know, with him on the cover.
Oh, that one, yes, that was crazy.
That was a great read. You know, those are like two main books. You know, I've had a lot of books, you know, but the ones that really like stood out to me the most are Seize the Time and that one that Monster Cody wrote. You know, it's yeah, man. That's like, as soon as I joined the new Panther Vanguard movement, first thing they told me to read was Seize the Time. I was 17 years old, you know, and man, that was great. I actually felt like I was in the book. I felt like I was there in the 60s, and it helped to mold me into the leader, you know what I'm saying, that I needed to be, because we got a lot of followers.
Dreamer, in the late 90s, when I used to come to your headquarters, I felt like I took the time machine to 1967.
Yeah.
Because remember, like, we were doing the group study, and Sharif and us, he Xeroxed a bunch of these from George Jackson. We were all reading it, and we had to take turns and read.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really good strategy, because you have to pay attention on reading, because you're going to be next, and the other person's going to be next. That was a really cool strategy. Like, we take turns on reading and stuff. It was really awesome.
Another must read is Blood in My Eye, Soledad Brother. These are George Jackson, George Jackson books. Soul on Ice, Eldridge Cleaver. These are all must read if you really want to get the revolutionary spirit, you know, that you're gonna need in order to stand out from the rest of the followers and be a leader. Because it's man, zombies. It's zombies.
Dreamer, okay. Like I said, I have a lot of respect for you, because you come from really tough, hard environment, and you've been through all the struggle. Like, oh, wait, hold on, there's more books. Okay, thank you. So, yeah, like I said, you come from a tough neighbor and stuff. You've been struggling for a long time, and you've been in the movement, still involved, still being active, and continue doing your music and everything. So before we go, your music. How could people get your music for people who just join in right now on Instagram?
All right, so yeah, it's real simple, and anybody can actually Google me. It's I'll put it right here in the chat. You can Google my name, Dreamer Black. That's the easiest way for you to find my music. But I'm actually on all major streaming platforms, YouTube, SoundCloud. I'm on all that stuff, man. You know, I got a bunch of songs, a bunch of stuff that I'm working on, cutting out. I'm in the process of getting ready to shoot a music video. We're working Platinum Brown Sugar Entertainment Management, getting that off the ground. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a good summer. You know what I'm saying? I sure hope that you know, everybody checks me out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't let anybody down who has high expectations for hearing my music.
Also, somebody told me this long time ago. They were saying that you gotta support these brothers, you know, who rap all this about even gang stuff. I go, why? Because they're talking about their life. It's where they came from. This is the life they face every day. People dying, you know, blah blah blah. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it is, man. Because I mean, those are the soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not,
Street soldiers. I haven't heard that for a long time. Soldiers.
yeah, yeah. I mean, those are the ones that we need. We have to rely on. It's like, you know, these are the children of the ghetto. You know, and we have to respect them. We have to get them involved because those are the ones that are actually going to stand up and fight against the system. You know, and they're just not. I'm not going to say that they're uneducated because that's false. I'm just going to say that they don't have the proper example to lead by, something that they're willing to put their life on the line for. That's actually gonna be worth it, you know. And it's
right. I haven't heard that word since the '90s. Revolutionary street soldier.
Yeah, it's necessary, man.
All right. Dreamer, this was awesome. Thank you very much for the interview. Check out Dreamer Black's music. Support Dreamer Black. When everything is over, when everything calms down, and when I visit LA, we got to do another show together with you.
Yeah, man. Please, man. I'm definitely.
Dreamer Black performed 2 months ago at the Anarcho gathering in Pasadena. It was a free event and everything, and we got to continue this. Thank you very much, Dreamer, and I'm gonna save this and upload it on YouTube as well. This interview.
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man.
All power to the people. All right.
All power to the people. All right.